If you've recently lost your husband and you're lying awake at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling, replaying memories, worrying about the future, or simply feeling the emptiness beside you in bed, I understand. One of the most surprising symptoms of widowhood for me wasn't just the depth of my grief, it was the exhaustion. I was tired all day, but when night came, I couldn't sleep. And if I did fall asleep, I'd wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning with my mind racing, remembering. It was a constant pattern of disrupted sleep those first nights without him. I was losing so much sleep, I was afraid I might get sick from being exhausted. But I quickly learned that sleep problems are actually one of the most common experiences after losing a spouse. Research shows that widows frequently experience insomnia, fragmented sleep, nightmares, and difficulty returning to sleep after waking. And the more intense the grief, the more severe the sleep disruption can become. Today, I want to share with you the things that gradually helped me begin sleeping through the night again. Not overnight, not perfectly, but gradually. And hopefully, some of these ideas may help you too. First, I think it's important to understand why this happens. When we lose a spouse, our entire sense of safety changes. For many of us, we've slept beside the same person for decades. Then suddenly, the routines are gone. The pillow talk is gone. Feeling the safety of him sleeping beside you is gone. Researchers have found that widows and widowers often struggle with sleep because grief activates stress hormones and responses in the body, increases emotional distress, and changes bedtime routines that once felt comforting and familiar. In my case, nighttime became the hardest part of the day. During the day, I could stay busy, but at night, there were no distractions, just silence and grief. I also learned that grief can create a vicious cycle. You don't sleep well because you're grieving. Then poor sleep makes grief feel even heavier the next day. Researchers have identified a strong relationship between sleep disturbance and grief intensity. So, if you're struggling to sleep, please know this. You're not failing. You're having a very human response to a profound loss. The first thing I did was I stopped trying to force sleep. This was surprisingly important. Every night I would lie in bed thinking, I have to sleep. I need 8 hours. If I don't sleep, tomorrow will be terrible. And the more pressure I put on myself, the more awake I became. Eventually, I changed my goal. Instead of trying to force sleep, I focused on creating rest. If I couldn't sleep, I would tell myself, my job is simply to rest. So, when I can't sleep, sometimes I listen to a calming audiobook, sometimes soft music, and sometimes I listen to a guided meditation. Removing the pressure didn't solve everything, but it lowered my anxiety enough that sleep eventually became more likely. The second thing I did was I created a new bedtime routine. One thing I didn't realize was how much my old bedtime routine was tied to my husband. The TV shows we watched, the conversations before bed, even hearing him move around the house. When he died, those routines disappeared, and I realized I needed to create new ones. Every night I started doing the same simple things. Turn off the news, dim the lights, make a cup of herbal tea, read something calming, say a short prayer, get into bed at roughly the same time. Sleep experts have long recognized that consistent routines help signal to the brain that it's time to sleep. Changes in routine are also known contributors to insomnia. My new routine didn't erase the grief, but it gave me an internal signal. You are safe. Deep breathing before bed. You might think breathing exercises sound a little silly, but there is evidence that diaphragmatic breathing can help relax the nervous system. I place one hand on my chest and one hand on my stomach, then slowly breathe in through my nose for about 4 counts. I pause briefly, then exhale slowly for 6 counts. I do this for just 5 minutes. That's it. The goal isn't to fix grief. The goal is simply to calm the nervous system, and it helps me to relax when I lay in bed, and my mind and emotions won't let me sleep. Research shows that relaxation techniques like diaphragmatic breathing are often recommended for insomnia and can help reduce the emotional and physical tension that interferes with sleep. Getting morning sunlight. This one surprised me. For a while after my loss, I stayed indoors far too much. Some days I barely left the house. Eventually, I started taking a short walk outside each morning. Nothing strenuous, just sunlight and fresh air. The morning light helped me feel more connected to the day. It also helped reestablish a regular sleep-wake rhythm. Many sleep specialists recommend exposure to natural daylight because it helps regulate the body's internal clock. And honestly, the walks helped my emotional health as much as my sleep. Some mornings I cried, some mornings I prayed, some mornings I simply walked. But it helped. The next thing I did was I limited caffeine and late night news. This can be a difficult one. When you're feeling exhausted, coffee can feel like survival. But too much caffeine late in the day can make nights worse. The same is true for watching upsetting news before bed, especially if your mind is already overloaded from grief. The news can add stress and anxiety right before it's time to sleep. Eventually, I made a simple rule: no caffeine after lunch, and no distressing news close to bedtime. It wasn't a miracle cure, but it definitely improved my sleep quality. Finally, I asked for help. This may be the most important thing I share today. There came a point when I realized I couldn't simply push through. I was exhausted, emotionally drained, and struggling. Talking with supportive people helped. For some widows, that may mean a grief support group. For others, a counselor. For others, a trusted friend. Research shows that grief therapy can help reduce distress and may also improve sleep difficulties over time. Sometimes, the weight of grief can lessen when we stop carrying everything alone. If you're awake tonight missing your husband, if the house feels too quiet, if you're exhausted but can't sleep, I want you to know something. This season doesn't last forever. It may take time, it may take patience, and it may take trying several different approaches before you find what works for you. For me, sleep returned slowly. First it was 3 hours, then 4. Then a night where I slept until sunrise. And eventually, little by little, my body remembered how to rest again. Not because I stopped loving him, not because I stopped missing him, but because healing and grief can exist together. So tonight, be gentle with yourself. Your body is carrying more than most people can see. And if sleep doesn't come right away, that's okay. Rest if you can. Breathe. Take care of yourself. And remember, you are not alone. Many widows have walked this road before you and found their way back to peaceful, restful nights again. If this video helped you, please leave a comment below and share what has helped you sleep after loss. Your experience may be exactly what another widow needs to hear today. Take care, and don't forget to download your free copy of 20 Simple Tips to Help You Navigate Grief. You'll find the link in the description. I'll see you in the next video.